Have you ever felt that, no matter how hard you try, something always seems to slip through your fingers? That feeling of being trapped in an endless cycle, where everything you desire the most is so close, yet at the same time so out of reach. Maybe it's that emptiness that appears in the silence of the night, or that constant doubt. Why do things not happen for me? Why does it seem like the universe has forgotten me? But what if I told you that it's not by chance that you are here right now? That something greater is happening, something you can't see yet, but that is about to change everything? Take a deep breath, because what I am going to share today might be exactly what you need to break this cycle and finally see what has been hidden all along. If you feel like something is holding you back, that there is an invisible barrier between you and the life you desire, this is the moment to uncover what lies behind it. There is a reason why you are here. And what comes next has the power to transform not only your perspective, but also the path you walk from now on. But I will tell you something important. You need to be ready to listen. This message is not for just anyone. It is for you, who deep down feel that there is something greater waiting for you. Today, you have a choice. Watch until the end and allow yourself to understand how to change everything. What you are about to discover is not just an answer. It is the starting point for a new phase, a phase that only begins when you decide to go beyond what you already know. Now, the choice is yours. Click play and follow until the end. What you are about to hear may be the first step towards everything you have always wanted. Today, the angels whisper a deep and transformative message to their heart. There is something that God is trying to reveal to you, something so powerful that it can completely change the course of their life. But there is a blockage, an invisible barrier that prevents their eyes from seeing and their heart from accepting this divine truth. It's not weakness, but rather a reflection of the experiences they have carried until now. God deeply understands this and yet is acting in silence, patiently waiting for the moment when they will be ready to see and receive. Have they ever noticed how life seems to offer them small signs, almost as if the universe is conspiring to get their attention? Those moments when something inside them says that there is more to be discovered, but they hesitate, perhaps out of fear or the feeling that it is not the right time yet. It's as if an inner voice, soft and constant, says, "Trust, move forward." This is God trying to reach them, subtly, through the angels. What he tries to show them is not just a common message. It is an answer to their deepest questions, a path to the liberation of the burdens they carry. But to see it, they first need to want to see. They need to be willing to leave behind the doubts, fears, and beliefs that prevent them from opening their eyes to what really matters. God does not pressure them, for he knows that each soul has its own maturation time. He waits with divine patience, putting opportunities and lessons before them that gradually prepare them for the moment of revelation. Yet, the angels ask me to tell them that the time is approaching. Life is about to change in ways they never imagined, but this transformation will only be possible when they open their heart to what God has to say. The question that resonates now is, why aren't you ready yet? Maybe it's because the unknown always brings insecurities. Maybe they are afraid of discovering truths that require significant changes, or that lead them to leave comfort zones that, even though limiting, seem safe. The angels want them to know that it is completely normal to feel this way. Fear is human, but it is not definitive. At this moment, the angels ask them to look within themselves. Take a break and reflect. What do you really fear? Is it the unknown, or is it the fact that this revelation may require a new, braver, and more confident version of you? God does not ask you to be perfect. He simply invites you to take the first step, a step of trust and faith. Imagine a closed door in front of you. You feel the presence of something special on the other side, but still hesitate to turn the doorknob. The angels are by your side, holding your hand, saying that this door is the key to your next phase. God is trying to show you that on the other side, there is light, love, and answers to the dilemmas that have weighed on your soul. Perhaps you are wondering, how do I know if I am ready? The angels respond that readiness does not come from absolute certainty, but from a willing heart. A heart that, even trembling, chooses to believe that there is something greater waiting. And if you feel that you still cannot take that step, know that it is okay to ask for help. The angels are here, sending strength, courage, and wisdom to guide you. However, there is something you need to know. What God has for you is non-negotiable. It is a gift reserved only for you, something that no one can take away. The only condition is that you are willing to receive it. God is moving pieces on the board of their life. People are being positioned, opportunities are being created, and the path is being prepared for them to finally see what he has been trying to show them. But remember, God does not force anyone. He simply waits, lovingly, for them to be ready to take the next step. The angels ask them to connect with them daily, whether through prayer, meditation, or simply quieting their mind to hear what the divine has to say. These moments are essential, as it is in these moments of silence that they will begin to notice the signs and prepare for what is to come. What lies on the other side of this revelation is something that will change everything: their perspective, their choices, and even their destiny. It is something that will free them from the shackles of the past and allow them to live more fully and purposefully. Before we move on to the next part, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Feel the presence of God and the angels around you, assuring you that you are not alone on this journey. Trust, because what is coming is greater than your fears. The angels continue to whisper in their ears, shedding light on what God is trying to reveal to them. What is reserved is so grand that their mind may hesitate to comprehend. But now is the time to delve deeper, to explore what lies behind the veil that they are not yet ready to lift. God, in His infinite wisdom, understands that the hesitation does not come from a lack of faith, but from the scars they carry. Scars from moments when they trusted and were disappointed, when they did their best and it seemed not to be enough. These marks are real, but the angels want them to know that they do not define who they are. Have you ever stopped to think about why these wounds appeared? They are not just painful memories. They are also lessons, signs that God was shaping them for something greater. When it seemed like they were alone, God was preparing the ground for the moment when they would be ready to receive the truth. In this process, God always sent signs. Perhaps they were subtle, a dream that seemed strange but carried a message, a word from someone close that resonated deeply, or even that intuition they felt, but chose to ignore. These signs were not coincidences. They were divine attempts to gradually open their eyes, without scaring them. But the angels reveal that now the intensity is increasing. They must have noticed this. Coincidences are becoming more frequent. The feelings they were trying to ignore are getting stronger. This is God approaching, saying that the moment is coming. And even if they still feel unprepared, know that the divine plan never puts them in situations for which they were not prepared. What lies behind this revelation is something they have always desired, but may have never believed they could achieve. It could be an emotional healing they have been waiting for years, a greater purpose they have not yet identified, or even a relationship that finally makes them feel complete. Whatever it is, the angels assure, it is something destined exclusively for them. However, what God asks of them now is not perfection, but courage. He wants them to start trusting more, even when they don't understand everything that is happening. And this trust does not need to be immediate. It can grow slowly, like a flame that strengthens over time. At this moment, you may be wondering, but what if I fail? What if I'm not enough? The angels answer, God never chooses perfect people for His greatest purposes. They choose those whose hearts are willing. And that's all He needs, your willingness to take a small step into the unknown. The angels also ask me to tell you that it's normal to feel fear. In fact, fear is an indication that you're about to step out of your comfort zone. And it's precisely outside of that zone that God acts most powerfully. He wants you to trust that even when it seems like everything is out of your control, He is in charge. Think of your life as a tapestry being woven. Each thread, each knot, represents a moment, even those that seemed confusing or meaningless. When you look at the tapestry up close, it may seem messy. But stepping back, the complete picture is revealed, and you realize that every detail had a purpose. Now, the angels invite you to do something simple yet powerful: give thanks. Even without fully understanding what's happening, start thanking for what is to come. Gratitude is a way to open spiritual doors. It shows that you trust the process, even when you don't see the end of the road. God is trying to reveal something that is not just for your benefit, but also for those around you. Your transformation will impact other lives. Perhaps you are the light someone is waiting for, the answer to someone else's prayer. And that's part of the greater plan God has for you. So, at this moment, take a deep breath. Imagine a golden light surrounding you, bringing calm and clarity. That light is the presence of God and the angels, ensuring that you are protected and guided. No matter how difficult the journey may seem, you will never be alone. Their angels ask me to reinforce that what is to come is not a burden, but a blessing. A blessing that will be delivered at the exact moment when they are ready. And that moment is closer than they imagine. Now, close your eyes for a moment and visualize the door you hesitated to open. See the angels by their side, smiling, encouraging them. Feel God's presence saying, "You can do it, because I am with you." This is just the beginning of their journey towards revelation. Allow yourself to trust, even if it is just a little more today than yesterday. The angels continue to guide this message, and now we are entering a space even deeper than what God wants to show you. Imagine for a moment that all of their life so far has been like a great mosaic, composed of pieces that often did not seem to make sense. Every pain, every victory, every silence, was a unique piece that God placed in the right place. And now, He is about to reveal the complete picture. This revelation, however, is not only about the future, but also about the present and the past. God wants them to understand that nothing they have lived through has been in vain. Every tear they shed, every prayer that seemed unanswered, every time they felt alone, everything was carefully used to shape the person they are today. The angels say one of the reasons they still don't feel ready to see what is to come is the fear of revisiting these wounds of the past. It's as if they are afraid that, by facing this truth, they would need to deal again with pains they thought they had already overcome. But God assures them, He does not want them to suffer. He wants to heal them. Think about what happens when a wound is exposed to light. It hurts, yes, but that exposure is necessary for it to heal completely. In the same way, they are being invited by God to look at those areas of their life with courage, because they know that only then you will be able to move forward to the next level. The angels reveal that what God is about to show is not just a path, but a complete transformation. It will not be something that only changes your routine or your plans. It will be something that changes the way you see yourself, how you relate to others, and even how you see the world around you. But for this transformation to happen, it is necessary that you free yourself from something, the idea that you need to have absolute control over everything. This idea has been holding you back, has made you doubt the possibilities that God is placing before you. The angels ask that you trust, even when you do not understand. God also wants you to know that He does not see you as you see yourself in your moments of doubt. When you feel weak, He sees strength. When you feel you have failed, He sees learning. And when you think you are alone, He sees His own presence by your side, guiding every step. At this moment, the angels are working on something you cannot see. They are aligning people, situations, and opportunities that converge towards this moment of revelation. You may be facing challenges now and wondering, why is this happening to me? But know that often, the greatest miracles come disguised as challenges. God is trying to remind you of something important. You do not need to have all the answers now. It is not necessary to understand every detail of the divine plan for it to be fulfilled. What He asks is just an open heart, willing to trust that, in due time, everything will make sense. The angels also want you to know that this journey is not about perfection, but about progress. Every small step you take towards trusting in God is an advancement. Every time you choose faith over fear, you are getting closer to the revelation. And about this revelation, what exactly does God want to show you? The angels indicate that it is deeply connected to your purpose. Something that will not only bless you but will allow you to bless others in ways you can't even imagine yet. Perhaps it's a calling you have always felt but never had the courage to answer. Maybe it's a relationship that needs to be restored, or a decision you have been putting off because it seems too big to bear. Whatever it is, the angels assure you, you will not face it alone. Now, take a deep breath again. Imagine a golden light descending from the sky and enveloping your entire being. This light is the presence of God and the angels, ensuring that you are protected and supported. Let that light fill the spaces in your heart where there are still doubts, fears, and insecurities. The angels ask you to repeat mentally, I trust. I accept. I am ready to see what God has for me. These words, even if said with hesitation at first, carry immense power. They are like keys that unlock spiritual doors, allowing you to get even closer to the revelation. Remember, dear soul, what is to come is greater than any obstacle you can imagine. God is by your side, patiently waiting for the moment when you will open your eyes to all He has prepared. We are now at a crucial moment in this message. The angels show me that they are getting closer to a turning point in their life, a moment when the veil will be lifted, and what God has been trying to reveal to them will finally become clear. But before that, they ask them to understand something very important. What is about to be shown is not just a gift, but also a responsibility. God not only blesses those who choose to trust in Him, He also calls them to act, to transform their own lives and the lives around them with the power of these revelations. Therefore, this preparation they are going through is so essential. It is not a delay, but a necessary step for them to be strong enough to carry what is to come. The angels emphasize that many of the challenges they have faced recently were exactly part of this preparation. Perhaps they have felt like the burden was too heavy, like things were falling apart around them. But what seemed like a downfall was actually a rebuilding. God was removing the unstable foundations so that something new, stronger, and more enduring could be erected. They may wonder, but why does it have to be so difficult? Why is pain part of this process? The angels answer that pain, although never desired, is often the catalyst for growth. It teaches us, strengthens us, and helps us see the world and ourselves in a way that would otherwise be impossible. And now, the question that echoes in their soul: am I ready to see what God has for me? The angels say that readiness does not come from the absence of fear, but from the decision to move forward despite it. Even if they have doubts, even if insecurities try to hold them back, the simple fact that they are open to this message is already a sign that they are on the right path. What God is trying to reveal to you is directly connected to your life purpose. It's not something trivial or fleeting. It's something that will give meaning to your days, that will bring clarity about why you are here. And this purpose, although unique, has a profound impact not only on you, but also on the people around you. The angels show me that there are people waiting for your courage, for your decision to accept this revelation. Your transformation will be an inspiration to them, a beacon in the midst of darkness. Perhaps you don't even realize the impact you have on the lives of those around you, but God sees. He knows that you have an essential role in His plan. But for all this to manifest, it is necessary for you to release control. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, it seems risky. But God asks you to trust in Him more than you trust in yourself. He wants you to know that even when everything seems uncertain, He is preparing something greater and better than you could imagine. At this moment, the angels ask you to visualize your doubts and fears as clouds in the sky. See how they move slowly, making way for the sun that is always there, waiting to shine. That light is God's presence, constant, even when the clouds try to hide it. The angels also want you to know that God's timing is perfect. It may seem like things are taking too long or that you are falling behind, but everything is happening exactly as it should. He is aligning every detail, every person, every circumstance, so that the moment of revelation is full and transformative. Remember, dear soul, that God doesn't choose the prepared, He prepares the chosen. And you have been chosen. Not because you are perfect, but because He sees in you a willing heart, a soul that, despite struggles, continues to seek light and hope. Now, the angels invite you to take a step of faith. Even if they don't know exactly where they are going, trust that God is guiding every move. Repeat to themselves, I trust in the divine plan. They are ready to be transformed. As you open yourself up to this trust, the angels begin to work even more intensely around them. They are clearing the path, removing obstacles, strengthening their spirit for what is to come. And what is to come, dear soul, is something that will not only change their life but also the world around them. Breathe deeply again. Feel the presence of the angels, the certainty that they are exactly where they should be. Allow this peace to fill their heart and prepare them for the next step. The angels now show me clearly that the moment of revelation is closer than you imagine. What God has in store for you is not just an answer, but a true transformation, a rebirth that will redefine who they are and what they believe to be possible. But before they walk through that door that will finally be opened, God wants them to know something essential. This is a call to act on faith. It is not enough to just wait for things to change. The revelation that is to come will bring to light truths that will move them to action, requiring courage and determination from them. The angels reveal that this revelation is directly connected to something that they have carried in their heart for a long time. It could be a dream they kept silent, a question that remained unanswered, or a desire that seemed impossible to achieve. God has been watching all of these things, and now is the time to show them that none of it was forgotten. Imagine for a moment, the pieces that were once out of place start to fit together. The moments of pain, the challenges, the periods of waiting, everything begins to make sense. What seemed to be a delay was, in fact, God preparing you, strengthening your roots so that you could flourish fully when the time came. But dear soul, the angels ask you to prepare for something important. The revelation will not come without challenges. Often, when we receive a clear vision of what we must do, doubts, fears, and even external resistances arise. This is natural. The enemy always tries to make us doubt what God has placed in our hearts. But the angels are here to remind you that you were made for this. You are stronger than you imagine, more capable than you believe. And now is the time to let that inner strength come forth. When the revelation comes, you do not need to be ready in the human sense of the word. You just need to be willing to take one step at a time, trusting that God is guiding the way. The angels also ask you not to underestimate the impact your transformation will have on others. There are people watching you, who are inspired by your journey, even without you realizing. Your courage in accepting this revelation will be a beacon of hope for those who are also seeking answers. Now, visualize again that door we mentioned earlier. It is closer than ever. Feel the angels by your side, encouraging you, whispering words of strength and courage. Feel God's presence, saying, "My child, you have been chosen. Not by chance, but with purpose. Trust in me and cross over." The angels ask you to reflect on something right now. What do you need to leave behind to embrace what is to come? It could be a limiting belief, a relationship that no longer serves you, or even the fear of failure. Whatever it may be, know that God is asking you to release it so that you can receive with open hands and heart what He has prepared. This is the moment to fully trust in the divine plan. To understand that, even in the most challenging situations, God is working in your favor. And when this revelation comes, it will be like the dawn after a long night. Light will flood every corner of your soul, bringing clarity, hope, and a new purpose. The angels ask you to repeat mentally, "I accept. I trust. I am ready." These words have the power to align your heart with the divine plan, allowing you to be completely receptive to what is to come. And so, dear soul, you are about to embark on a new phase in your life. A phase of growth, blessings, and accomplishments. But remember, it all starts with a step of faith. Allow yourself to trust, even when the path seems uncertain. The angels ask me to remind you that this journey does not end here. What is to come is only the beginning of something much greater. And they will be by your side at every step, guiding, protecting, and strengthening you. If this message has touched your heart, leave a comment saying, "I trust God's plan for me." Write this as a commitment to the divine, as a declaration that you are ready for what is to come. And finally, remember, you are deeply loved. God and the angels are with you, today and always. And what is to come will be more beautiful and transformative than you could ever imagine. Now that they have heard this message, something inside them has changed. Do they feel it, right? That spark, that certainty that there is something greater guiding them, that everything is starting to make sense. What the angels shared today was not by chance. They were brought here by a force that wants to see them grow, flourish, live the fullness of the purpose that God has designed for them. But this journey, so unique and full of meaning, does not end here. This is just the beginning of a path that they are destined to walk. And for that, they need a space where they can continue to receive signs, messages, and confirmations. A space where they will feel supported, loved, and guided every step of the way. Therefore, now the angels ask them to make an important decision: subscribe to this channel. By doing this, they are not just clicking a button, they are telling the universe that they are ready to receive, that they are open to changes and willing to listen to the whispers of the divine. Every message they receive here will be like a new piece of the puzzle that God is putting together in their life. And think with me, why wait any longer? Every second they hesitate is a moment lost, a step they fail to take towards their destiny. Clicking on this subscribe button is more than a simple action. It is a commitment to their growth, their healing, their purpose. Subscribing is an act of faith. It is declaring, "I am ready for the next level. I am open to everything the universe wants to show me." The angels are by their side now, whispering that this is their moment. The moment when everything starts to change. So, take a deep breath and look within. Ask yourself, am I ready for the transformation that the angels have for me? The answer is clear. It is beating strongly in their heart. Yes, they are ready. Now, click on the registration button. Do this knowing that they are taking the next logical, natural, and transformative step in their life. Do not hesitate, because the universe responds to action, and it is through action that they create their future. And before they finish, leave in the comments the phrase, "I accept God's plan for me." Write this as a commitment, as an energetic seal of everything they are about to experience. You will see that by doing this, something will change instantly within you. Sign up now and start receiving the messages that have been prepared to transform your life. God and the angels are already working for you. Now it's their turn to act. And remember, the best is yet to come. See you in the next message. It will be exactly what you need to hear.